Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. मत्तो विनिर्गतं विश्वं मय्येव लयमेष्यति मृदिकुम्भो जले वीची कनके कटकं तथा. Everything begins from me, it is maintained in me and it goes back to me. The water says, all the oceans and the waves and the vapors and the icebergs and the dewdrops and the clouds, all of them are born out of me, they are maintained in me, ultimately they go back to me. Means in this process of manifestation, in fact nothing has happened. That is why it is said it in physics, when the matter is broken, nothing is lost and energy cannot be created. Because it is infinite. Energy grossified is matter and matter broken is energy. That is why the lowest particle of matter is atom, and when the atom is split, energy is released. And when the energy is solidified, it is called as matter. In this manner, this whole world is nothing but a game of manifestation and manifestation. And in fact, nothing has ever happened, nothing is going to happen. Therefore, how everything is born out of me and goes back to me. Mrudi kumbho. Kumbha is the pot. As the pot is born out of the clay, it is maintained in the clay and ultimately it goes back to the clay. Or another example, jale vichi. Vichi means the wave. The wave is born out of the water, maintained in the water and again goes back to the water. Or kanake katakam yatha. Kataka is the ornament. All the ornament is born in the gold, it is maintained in the gold and it goes back to the gold. Thus, this is technically called as the material cause of this world is Paramatma. Now here there is some Vedantic thought which requires deeper attention. In all the religions, they talk about God as only the efficient cause. Efficient cause means what? Like a clay pot requires minimum 3 things for its birth. One is clay, second is the pot maker, and third is the instruments which go into the manufacture of the pot. So the clay is the material cause, the pot maker is the efficient cause, and the wheel, etc., they are the instrumental cause. So for the creation of this world, what is the material cause? Is it like the clay, separate and independent of the pot maker? This is the question. When we say God is everywhere, can we say the pot maker is with every pot? Only the clay is with every pot, not the pot maker. So, when we are to say the God is everywhere, what is meant is that the absolute self is the material cause of this world. This is the basic difference in Hindu philosophy and all other religions. In other religions they talk of God definitely, but only as the efficient cause. So God has created this world and he is separate from the world. But in case of the pot maker, Pot maker has created this pot and he is separate from the pot. But can the clay be separate from the pot? No. Therefore, the efficient cause of this world is the same reality. And therefore, everything in this world is recognized as existing. So, Sat or existence is the material cause of this world. And therefore, it is unlike when we say the tricolor, which is the flag of India. So, when we touch the tricolor, we don't touch India. Second thing, this tricolor had a date of birth. And who knows, in time it may add more colors or it may take away all colors. They are created by human being. So, the tricolor is not the material cause of India, although India is indicated by the tricolor. But that doesn't mean the tricolor is the India. See? In the same manner, when we take the Shivalinga, or we take the flame, or we take the Shivalinga, and when we are touching the Shivalinga, the Lord's idol, we are touching the Lord directly. It is not like a flag and the nation, no. Because the Lord is the material cause of this world. And therefore, in India we have various temples where every element is indicated as God. Therefore, there are idols made out of stones. Then rivers are worshipped as God. Then fire is worshipped. Then the air is worshipped. And the space is worshipped. So there are 5 types of Shiva temples where the 5 types of idols are there. Because everything is Paramatma. So the Paramatma, the Supreme Reality, the Brahman is the material cause of this world. And therefore, once we recognize this principle, then what will happen? When I am dealing with anything or anybody, I am aware that I am dealing with God itself, not anything else. Naturally, my behavior will be more alert. See, I will not behave that I am doing or behaving with something with disgust, no, respectful. That is why when you go to India, sometimes you see ladies worship the banyan tree or the peepal tree on a particular day, Vata Savitri. So that day all the ladies who are married and who are due to get married, they go and worship that tree and they will be putting the cloth around it, chanting the mantra, because the Lord is presented to us in the form of the tree. See, the Mount Kailash, it is only stones, but it is not taken as a stone. It is taken as the Lord Shiva himself. Therefore, nobody dares climb that mountain. They say those who climb, they die. Therefore, in this manner, what is meant in this verse, that the Lord is the material cause of this world. Then, can the clay by itself become the pot? No. So the pot maker is required to convert the clay into the pot. So the pot maker is the efficient cause. So the Lord is simultaneously material and efficient cause of this total world. This topic is brought out in Mundaka Upanishad through a beautiful mantra where it is said, Yathornanabhisrujate grunnate cha Yatha prithivyam oshadhayas sambhavanti Yatha satap purushat keshalomani Tatha ksharat sambhavati ha vishvam. 3 examples are given like here. How the world is created out of Paramatma. Yatha, just as Urnanabhi. Urnanabhi means a spider. A spider creates his own material out of which his house is constructed. He doesn't go for shopping to get the bricks and cement. When he has to construct his house, he himself produces the material cost. Then he doesn't employ an architect or a contractor to construct his house. He himself produces the material, he himself designs, he himself is the labor, he himself is the one constructing, and he himself lives in that. So he doesn't need anything outside. In the same manner, this world has manifested out of the Supreme Reality without the help of anyone. He is both the material cause as well as the efficient cause. One example. Second example is given that yatha pruthivyam oshadhaya sambhavanti. Prithvi is earth. Earth is inert. Out of that inert earth, the living plants come out. See the contradictions. And the third example, yatha satap purushat keshalomani. Like from the living being, the hair come out. Living being is living, but the hair which come out, they have no life. In this manner, this world has emerged out of the absolute, wherein sentient, inanimate, moving, stable, everything is created without the help of anything. That absolute reality I am. See, friends. You know, in India, there are now also many Mahatmas. Not one or two. I am reading these days one book in which there are about 70-80 Mahatmas' life story. It is so out of the world. See, or impossible things. Like just now I was reading one, there was one Swami Vimalananda. He was a great devotee of the Lord. And there was one lady, scheduled caste, and rejected by the society, suffering from the leprosy all over. Her husband has discarded, society has discarded, and she was on the road. So when this Mahatma was going, from there only she saluted and said, "Oh Lord, please do something, neither can I die nor I am able to live. This is a pathetic life. All other people discard her. Get away, don't come on the way of the great master. Don't you understand?" And she is crying. So when this Mahatma sees that, he leaves everybody aside, goes near her, sits with her, takes her in her lap and loves her, and then he takes the soil from there itself and just gives her a soil bath, and all her disease and symptoms, everything gone like a miracle. Now this doesn't happen as a miracle. This is possible because the divine will. When by our mind's capacity we can project such lovely dreams, in that dream there is inert world, there are sentient beings. In that dream there are friends, there are enemies. In that dream there are births, there are deaths. So when our ordinary mind can project a live dream so solid, can't the divine create this world without the assistance of anything or anybody? And therefore, when we are one with the Supreme Self, then there is nobody as ours and nobody as not ours. Like the ocean can never have a biased approach towards different types of waves or the bubbles. For the ocean, everything is the same. That is why the wise people living in this world never differentiate. And with this foundation, there cannot be any speech that you belong to this religion, you belong to that religion, and unless you get converted to this religion, you will go to hell. These kinds of baby talks can never be entertained if somebody is living on the foundation of this wisdom. See, friends. Therefore, here the King Janaka is telling his experience. Mattaha vinirgatam vishvam maye valayameshati mrudikumbho jale vichi kanake katakam yatha. So everything is born in me, existing in me, goes back to me. So two things are said. In the 8th verse, the Supreme Reality is indicated as the efficient cause, the illuminator, the knowledge. In the 10th verse, the same Supreme Reality is indicated as the material cause. And therefore, in fact, nothing has happened, although everything appears to be happening. This is said in the 9th verse. Three things. Take an example to make this point. What is the point? Please repeat again. Okay. Although the Lord is the efficient cause, therefore the creator of this world, although the Lord is the material cause, therefore He alone has become the world, and therefore, although there is an appearance of having created the world, but in fact nothing is created. Now take an example. Water has its own potentiality, because of which the water can appear as ocean as well as waves. Number 1 point. Number 2, the potentiality of water can act on anything else except on the water. Like the sweetness can create diabetes for anybody except the sugar cane. So the potentiality of the water cannot influence water. Number 3, in the water, other than water, there is nothing. Number 4, therefore, where will this potentiality become active? So the potentiality becomes active on the water. And how it becomes water? The water appears as the ocean. So the water is remaining as water, but it is called as the ocean. Now when you take a glass of water, satiate your thirst and save life, the same water as a ocean becomes a destructive force. But although it becomes a destructive force, nothing happens to the waters, because water cannot be destroyed by the water. See, friends. Therefore, ocean and waves, they are only words. Upanishad says, Vacharambadam vikaro namadheyam mritika eva satyam. We are touching the clay, but we say we are touching the pot. We are touching the clay, but we say we are touching the idol. So the pot and the idol, they are only words. The reality behind them is only the clay. In the same manner, when we say I am looking at the world, we mean the God, the Lord, the Supreme Self. When I say I am looking at the world, I means the Lord Himself is looking at Himself. There is nobody other than Him. See, friends, in this manner, when the knowledge becomes complete, the Creator created, and the process of creation is one. Every day you are all chanting one mantra before taking food. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. What is the meaning of that mantra? This is the meaning. Brahma Arpanam, Brahma the Supreme Reality. Arpanam is the spoon with which we offer oblation to the fire. So Brahma Arpanam, The spoon with which we offer oblation to the fire is the God, the Brahman. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi, all that is offered, that is also the Paramatma, the Supreme Reality. Brahmana Hutam, the process of offering is also the same reality. The person who is offering, he is also the same Brahman. And where it is offered in the fire, Brahmagnau, the fire is also the same Brahman. And what is reached by this process of doing this karma? Brahma karma samadhina, because all karma is nothing other than Brahman. He who is established in this understanding, so Brahmaivatena gantavyam, he is one with the Brahman. See, friends. Therefore, when we say this prayer, apply that prayer in your daily experience. The plate is Paramatma, the food is Paramatma, the spoon with which it is added is Paramatma, the hand with which the food is eaten is Paramatma, the detergent with which the plates are washed is Paramatma. Other than the reality, there is nothing else. This is the meaning. See? And when we thus look at the food, we can never have an attitude I like or I don't like. In this manner, this is the ultimate vision. So, Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, Mai Sarvam Layameshati, Mrudi Kumbho Jale Vichi Kanake Katakam Yatha. Aho Aham Namo Mayham Vinasho Yasya Nasti Me Brahmadi Stamba Paryantam Jagannashe Pidishtataha. This is another most solid principle of Vedanta Shastra. Aho Aham Namo Mayam. I am really the wonder of all wonders. To that me I salute myself, because other than me there is none. See? Aho Aham Namo Mayam. So I salute myself. And who is this me? Vinasho Yasya Nasti Me. I can never be destroyed. See, what we see, destruction in this world, is in fact a process of creation. When the childhood is destroyed, then the teenage is born. When the teenage is destroyed, then the middle age is born. So there is nothing like destruction. When the night is destroyed, the day is born. So where is the destruction? It is only the modification. Like energy cannot be destroyed. Energy can be transformed. Energy cannot be created. Energy can be modified. See? Because energy is infinite. In the same manner, Aho Aham Namo Mayam Vinasho Yasya Nasti Me. There is never an absence of me. Take this one point when you sit and find out that which is absent. You will come to a point that the whole world is absent, sense organs are absent, mind can be absent, intellect can be absent, waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi can be absent mutually. But there is one principle which can never be experienced as absent, and therefore it cannot be even called as present, because there is no option. Like if I got the only son, I cannot say he is my elder son. The only one has neither elder nor younger. In the same manner, this me vinasho yasya nasti me, This me is the one who has never suffered loss, is ever the same. All the changes in the world we have recognized. But we are the same. But what happens? We make a khichdi, a hodgepodge, out of our own experience. Like one example I'll give you. One elderly man happened to meet me in Calcutta in somebody's house for lunch or dinner. So he asked me, like a typical Indian, question, where from you have come? So I had to say something. So I said, I came from Vrindavan. So he being old, he has to say something with reference to Vrindavan. Because if he is not involved, no charm in Vrindavan. He said, 50 years before, when I went to Vrindavan, Vrindavan was totally different. Today it is completely changed. Now by this statement, what he has achieved? Nothing but to get involved in participation in talking. So I told him, dear Papa, please come. I took him near the sink where there is a mirror. I told him, look into the mirror. Yes. 50 years before, this fellow was like this. He was also different. Oh, I didn't realize that. I became so old. As we are able to observe the changes outside, so also the body is changing, but we appreciate the changes of the world because we have not changed, we are the same. Changes can be recognized with reference to the unchanging principle. If two cars are running in the same direction at the same speed, we don't feel that the other car is running. But if there is a tree and a car goes nearby, it goes very fast. See, you must have experienced this thing. When we are coming down by the aeroplane, it appears it is going very slow, not going very fast. The moment it touches the ground, it becomes tremendous speed because there is a reference of the land which is steady. In the space, there is no reference. And therefore, in the night, when everything is dark, you are sitting there, you don't get the experience that your plane is moving. Because inside the plane, there is no reference that something is stationary and the plane is moving. Therefore, all the changes in this world that we talk about, they are established only because of one unchanging principle. And that unchanging principle we are. And that is why no old man can ever feel that I have become old. All the old people have got this common dialogue. See? Once in Lonavala, Kaivalya Dham, I was sitting for taking my food, and normally I avoid talking to people because there is nothing, all nonsense comes out. So I keep quiet. So there was an old couple who came from Delhi, and I didn't know who they were. So he asked me, Swamiji, so I looked at him, you are taking food? No, I am eating food. I said, no, I am sleeping. Then he said, can you judge what is my age? On the dining table to a person you are meeting for the first time and you ask this question. Can you tell what is my age? So when I looked at him with the pity, I said, maybe you are 18 years of age. You also think like that? I said, yes, everybody thinks like that. I am not 18 years old, I am 81 years young. And he thought he has made a big joke. No person can experience that I have grown. It is the courtesy of the people around. They first time address us as auntie or uncle, we get the first shock of life. The second shock of life we get when we are first addressed as the grandmother or the grandfather. The second shock. Because we don't get the experience that we are growing. So this me, who is neither born nor grows nor ends and therefore can never be absent. See, aho aham namo mayyam vinasho yasya nasti me. There is no destruction, absence of me. See, as I know this sweater I am not. If the sweater is torn, will I experience that I am torn? In the same manner, he who is living in this wisdom, he will go through all the experiences of joy and sorrows, but he will not become joyful and sorrowful on account of the experiences. This is the basic difference. Therefore, Brahmadi Stamba Paryantam Jagannashe Apitishtatah. Right from Brahmadi, the creator, up to the blade of grass, let everything be destroyed. I remain untouched by destruction of the whole world. See, friends, now you take any philosophy, any principle, this is the conclusion you will come at. And for this conclusion, all the scriptures are to be studied. Take your theory of karma. What the karma theory tells? All the good and bad experiences we have in this life, they are the result of our karma in the last life. Good. Last life you were living in this body, no, that body was different. Then what happened to that body? That body was destroyed. And then to go through the result of the karma in that body, we have come in this body. Means what? Means our existence is independent of this body. And also our existence is independent of earlier body. And also when first body died, we did not die. Continue the same philosophy. So we are doing good and bad karma here. To get the result of those karmas, we will have the next life. And next life will not be in this body. So this body will be destroyed. Yet we continue to exist. Then who are we? Are we going from one body to another body, or many bodies are superimposed on me? See, a piece of gold is converted into a necklace. After some time that design becomes old. Then the lady wants a new necklace. So she goes to the goldsmith. Kindly remove this bead type of necklace. It is old style. I want a new one. Make, that dog belt type of, necklace. New one. So what has happened? Only the name and the form has changed. Gold continues to be the same. It has not changed. See, friends. Therefore, if we take the principle of karma, rebirth is only a process of communication. Like the example I gave you, using chocolate to teach the mathematics. But instead of focusing our attention on this continuous unbroken existence that we are, we get carried away by the sin and the merit, and then we get so enchanted. Oh, he is so loving. He is so compassionate. See, friends. Therefore, Brahmadi Stamba Paryantam Jagannashe Pitishthataha. Even when the whole world along with the Creator is destroyed, I continue to be as I am. This is my essential nature. It is something like, on the stage the character comes, whether he is killing others or he is getting killed, whether the drama is seen by thousands of people or it is seen by 10 people. It makes no difference to the character, to the actor of the stage. When somebody is killed, he knows nobody is killed. When somebody is born, he knows nobody is born. This is incessantly going on. See, friends, the nearest to the divine is the space. See, like nearest to my room is your place. So when I make a noise there, walking, cut, krr, krr, oh, the whole room is crying. Swamiji, why you have come here? See? So when I make a noise there, all the next rooms get the noise free. They don't have to do. Exactly. When we come to the space, the neighbor of the space is Paramatma. Because from the Paramatma, the first in the creation is the space. Tasmat Atmanaha Akasha Sambhuta. And that is why the practice of meditation is taking the position of the space. Then we come to know space supports both sounds and forms. On the basis of these two attributes of the space, there are two types of meditations indicated. One is called as Drishyanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi and second is called as Shabdanuviddha Savikalpa Samadhi. Samadhi with the support of the form and Samadhi with the support of the sound. Shabdanuviddha. The idea is we remain in the space. Because next door to the space is Paramatma. And if we remain as the space, what is the space? Space supports everything but never gets influenced by anything. So, if we are practicing space, we will not get disturbed by anything that is happening in the world. Nothing in this world should disturb us. If this is practice, then we will not require any disciplining outside. Because from within we are clear. Therefore, Brahmadi Stamba Paritamtam Jagannashepi Dishtataha. Even when the whole world is destroyed, I continue to be the same. To that me, Aho Aham Namo Vahyam, to that great me, I salute myself. This salutation is like what? Like, these ladies, they prepare food. Suppose sambar they have prepared or rasam they have prepared. Now, when they are prepared, they want to see how it is properly done or not. Taste is good or not. Salt is enough or not. So, if they are cultured ladies, they will take that teaspoonful, put on their palm. Very good. So, they appreciate themselves. If they are over-cultured, they will take the spoon from that pot and straight away they will, yes, good. And then that prasada is added to the whole thing. I have seen both types, therefore I am telling you. So when we create and then we appreciate, oh, very good, nicely done. In the same manner, this world is created, destroyed, but I continue to be the same, never influenced by anything. Aho aham namo mayyam ekoham dehavanapi kvachinna ganta naganta vyapya vishvam avastitaha. Again, aho aham namo mayyam. I am the most wonder of all wonders. To that wonderful one I salute. In Kathopanishad and Bhagavad Gita, the exclamation of realization is Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidenam Ascharyavat vadati tathaiva chanyah Ascharyavat chainamanya shrunoti Shrutva penam vedana chaiva kaschit. This reality is Ascharyavat pashyati. It is seen as the wonder of all wonder. And when they have to talk about the reality, they say it is most wonderful. There is no other word than wonder. What is the wonder? Wonder is an experience which cannot be explained through logic. That is wonder. See? For a person who doesn't know the operation of the laptop or the anything, these electronic gadgets, when he says, oh, you can do this thing, on your phone you can write by your own hand, surprising, wonder. Because it is beyond the comprehension of his intellect. But if somebody is this software engineer, he says, no, it is a JavaScript. For him there is no wonder. Therefore, aho aham namo mahyam ekoham dehavanapi. Although there are many bodies superimposed on me, I continue to be one. See, friends, Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter 2nd verse. Kshetratyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Hey Arjun, please recognize, every body is a field. The embodied is the owner of the field, the knower of the field. But don't mistake that per body there is one owner. I am the owner of all the bodies because I am alone expressing through all the bodies. See, in today's world, this example of electricity is the fittest example. I'll give you 2-3 examples to make this point. Bulbs, if you take individually, they are many. They are individualities. The light is one principle. They appear many because there are many bulbs. But light as a principle is one. Now, third thing. Behind all the lights and all the bulbs in the world, there is one energy called as electrical energy. Will we call that the Chinese energy is the communist energy and the Indian energy is the democratic energy? No. Energy transcends all the classes. See? In the same manner, there is but one absolute reality which is expressing through all of them. Underline the word expressing through. Because there are many gadgets, the multiplicity appears. If we remove all the bulbs, there is no loss to the electricity. If all the bodies disappear, nothing happens to the conscious space. If all the ornaments are melted into a lump of gold, there is no loss to the gold. If more ornaments are created, there is no gain to the gold. In the infinite, addition and subtractions are equal. This me is one without a second. See? Therefore, it is said here, Aho aham namo mayam ekoham dehavanapi. I am one, although I am expressing through the body. Electricity says, I am one, although in one bulb I am expressing where the bulb is before the temple. In other bulb I am expressing where the bulb is illuminating the toilet. Because of that, we cannot say, oh, this bulb which is illuminating the chapel is a meritorious bulb, and the one which is illuminating the toilet is a sinful one. Further, one day it so happens, the bulb in the chapel or the temple becomes fused. Why this happened? God likes good people. He takes them away. bad people like the toilet bulb remains in this world. Anyway, now we have to fix the bulb here. We can't do our prayers. Okay, remove that bulb from the toilet. We remove that and fix it here. How come that bulb has come here? Maybe some merits in the last life must have surfaced. See, friends, come to this principle. When I am seeing a living body or when I am seeing a dead body, I eliminate both the things equally, no problem. When I see divine or when I see a devil, it makes no difference to the eyes. Because this one is untouched by anything. This one is me. So let there be many bodies. Let there be many lights appearing to be many, but it is one. Now take another example, more latest example. We all have our mobile phones. Now, the sound comes from inside the mobile phone. Is it not? Many times when we call somebody, we get a message. The customer that you have called is out of reach because there is no coverage of sound waves in that area. So what is the truth? The truth is, phone is in the sound waves. Sound waves are not in the phone. But sound waves are manifesting through the phone. In the same manner, conscious reality, Chidabhasa, is one everywhere. And in that conscious reality, you and me are like the mobile phones. And that conscious reality expresses as life in us and inertness in the stones and bricks. See, friends, like the electrical energy expresses as light in the bulb and a movement in the fan. The differences are on account of the gadgets which are fixed. Exactly the same way. One conscious reality, ekoham dehavanapi. If the body happens to be the cow's body, milk will come out. If it happens to be a cobra, poison will come out. If it happens to be a man, beard will come out. See? Because of that, the conscious reality has not become nutritious in cow, poisonous in the cobra, and useless in the man. No. It is one and the same. So what we have to understand, all that we experience is the manifestation of the reality, not the reality. And if we don't give importance to the variation in manifestation, but we give importance to that which is manifesting, our perception of the world will be different. But when we are functioning through the senses and the mind, we all the time talk, think, establish, support, promote differences. But if we go beyond all the differences, then we come to know, aho aham namo vayyam ekoham dehavanapi. Although there are many sense organs, the mind says, I am one. In the same manner, the eyes say, although there are many colors and forms, I am one. Similarly, the Absolute Self, as if is proclamation that I am but one, although expressing through all the bodies. To that my salutations. These salutations are like the wave saluting the ocean. When the wave will salute the ocean, the wave has to disappear. In the same manner, when I salute myself, this small I has to disappear. I received one very nice cartoon in the email. The son says, iPhone, he shows and he is happy. The daughter says, iPad, she is happy. And the father is disgusted. I paid. See? So, this small I has to disappear. And when the small I disappears, then that which cannot disappear alone remains. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, Ahami nasha bhaji aham taya spurati vrut swayam paramapurna sat. When this small little I disappears, the absolute I manifests. See? I, as a husband, was very miserable because my wife was a terrible one. By God's grace, God has taken her away. The moment she has gone, the miserable I, the husband, has gone. Now I am reverting back to my being a man. Now actually, man minus husband, what is lost? Nothing. Similarly, man plus husband, nothing. Because husband is an illusion. It is not reality. And who is miserable? It is illusory principle. If we recognize this, that we are living in this world as the actors on the stage, play your role beautifully well, but don't forget your own divinity. Then we come to know, Ekoham, I am the one, I am alone playing the role of the father, mother, brother, sister, husband, in-law, outlaw, everything. But I continue to be one. Dehavanapi. So, aho aham namo mayam ekoham dehavanapi kvachinna ganta na ganta. Never I have gone anywhere, nor I have come from anywhere. All coming and going is happening in me. Space doesn't go anywhere. Space has not come from anywhere. All coming and going is happening in the space. See, it is up to here. Your quantum physics tries to jump, not beyond this. When they say the Big Bang theory or the black hole theory, hole in what? Hole is not an object. See? Hole in the wall is called as a window. Try to construct a window without a wall. You cannot. In the same manner, hole in what? So that in which the hole has happened, it is already there. So how we can call it as the creation? And the Big Bang theory. For any bang, two things are required. With only one hand, no bang can be made. So if two things are there, it is already a world, it is a creation. See, friends. Therefore, this whole appearance of relativity and multiplicity is merely conditional. Because of that, it has never become many. Like one space is called as north, east, west, south, but that doesn't mean the space is divided into many. Thus, aho aham namo mayam ekoham dehavanapi kvachinna ganta na ganta. I have neither gone anywhere nor I have come from anything. Then everything is coming and going in me. I am the same. See, Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara Tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namuyati. The body is coming and going. Childhood has come, gone. Teenage has come, gone. Middle age has come, gone. But we continue to be the same. We have neither come nor we have gone. One subtle principle I will tell you. This happened in Varanasi recently. There used to be one very elderly person, very well-read, nice person. I was staying with him on the banks of Ganges. A nice palatial house. And he told me, Swamiji, you are emphasizing again and again, don't talk about your past and don't ask anybody about their past. What is wrong in that? And there is nothing wrong, you talk. No, I am not objecting, I want to learn. I said, okay. When you say, during my childhood or during our childhood, things were different. Childhood belonged to whom? To the body or to the self? Belongs to the body. So when we are talking about the childhood, we are talking as identified with the body. And now when you talk, but these days things are different. So what you are doing, you do not want to get rid of the body identification. So childhood is not yours. Childhood belongs to the body. Teenage is not yours. Teenage belongs to the body. Similarly, old age is not yours. Old age belongs to the body. Therefore, dehantara prapti dhirastatra namuyati. And the same way, this body will disappear. Like so many bodies have disappeared. Child body has disappeared, teenage body has disappeared, middle age body has disappeared. This will also disappear. Who cares? In the disappearance of those bodies, nothing has happened to me. Neither I have gone anywhere, nor I have come from anywhere. They have come and gone in me. This can click only if we take the position of the space. Like the clouds come in the space from nowhere, they go nowhere. In the same manner, in the conscious space that we are, the waking clouds come from nowhere, they go nowhere. The dreams come from nowhere, they go nowhere. So are the other two, deep sleep and samadhi. But there is one principle. Na ganta na aganta. Neither it has come nor it has gone. Therefore, kvachinna ganta na ganta vyapya vishvam avastitaha. I am permeating in and through the total creation and supporting. Never I have come from anywhere nor I have gone to anywhere. Therefore, this sadhana is not only a time-bound principle. Every experience of our life is a sadhana. Provided we analyze, we learn, we grow. See, every day we go to sleep, that time this is the sadhana. Now observe exactly what is happening when we are going to sleep. And then when we wake up, again start observing exactly what has happened. So first we become aware of ourselves and I is born. Then what is the time? Concept of time is born. Then where I am? Concept of space is born. Then who am I? Then I had to give the lecture. I is born. Then I had to get ready. This is the sequence. And this is again and again happening. So like for every dream there is a separate dreamer, in the same manner for every waking experience there is a separate waker. It is not the same waker. Come to discover, cognize, experience this and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।